Here we have Kari. So your body position is really pretty good. Your hips and legs are riding high in the water, so you're pretty streamlined. When your arms are recovering, I think we talked about this, it looks like you're just a little tense, or a little maybe slightly too mechanical. So you can try and relax your forearms so that the only thing tense as you're bringing your arm around is going to be your tricep, maybe a little bit on your shoulder. That may help with just shoulder fatigue down the road. Your breathing, your head position is good, and your breathing pattern is good. You may be turning a little more to breathe than would be perfect, but that's pretty good. So not something I'd really worry too much about. In the races, I don't know if you continue to swim with a bilateral breathing style or if you switch to one side. What I see with a lot of people, I don't think we talked about this, is that if you still breathe on every three, you can tend to run out of air. So it might be good to practice breathing one-sided in training when you're going hard sets, stuff like that. So here you get a better view of that. Just looks a little like your hands are a little too close to your body when you're recovering. So that's going to cause some extra tension on your shoulders. So you can let your hands be farther away from your body on the recovery. Now, ideally, you keep your hand below your elbow on the recovery. But you can see there's very little motion in your head, so that's good. And you can see from this angle that your feet stay within your own streamline. They don't sway side to side. So that's also good. So you got a very streamlined stroke. So that left arm is doing a pretty good catch at the beginning, and then it looks like the elbow may slip a little bit, but the beginning of that left arm is certainly a good catch. Right arm, that's pretty good as well. I'm going to throw some freeze frames at the end of this movie, but both of those look good, and I remember talking about this with you. Both of those look good at the beginning. You just want to be able to maintain that as well as possible through the midpoint of the stroke, at which point it becomes a pushing motion. So you're getting a good catch, and then maybe giving up a little bit with the elbow dropping or elbow leading the stroke. So it's just going to be continuing to improve on that. Now, other things you can see, you got a good kick. Your hips and legs are higher in the water, so it's a good streamline. Your rotation is fine. Rotation should be a result of extending forward as opposed to trying to force it from the hip. And the line you're pulling there is good. You might recall I talked about the two columns going between your shoulders, or the two columns running down the center of your shoulders. So your hands pull through those columns more or less, which is that's perfect. So the line you're pulling through the water is good. If you can maintain that high elbow, early vertical forearm through the middle of the stroke. So what you're getting was the first part good, and then losing a little bit, and then a good push. So you're just losing a little bit in the middle third of the stroke. Here we talked about relaxing your arms on the recovery. So this to me looks a little more fluid already, like slightly less mechanical or forced. So for 2 mile swims, that's going to make a difference on fatigue.
Just relaxing the recovery.
Same thing there. So you can watch this part and then go back to the beginning and watch that. And it's a minor difference, but the minor things, at your level and swimming add up. And then here I believe we're talking about working on trying to fully extend
Working on relaxing
and letting the rotation
the torso so that you're
be a result of that extension.
forcing the hips to rotate.
And I don't know if you've had a chance to work on that in between now and then. So if you can relax the stroke a bit on the recovery and improve the full mechanics of the catch underwater, those two things should make a difference, because your short speed, I think, is up to par with everybody else. It's just on the longer stuff where you fade a little bit.
Could you switch arms
So
I can...
that's going to be the key. So one arm drill, it's just a great strength builder as well as working on technique. And it looks like you're doing a pretty good catch here. Still see just a slight bit of that elbow lead. That's just, from watching hundreds and hundreds of swimmers now. But even moving slower through the water, you have excellent body position or streamline, so that's a real benefit. So that's good. That's real good. So it's like here you are overemphasizing a little bit, but this is what you need to do in your drills to really make this part of your stroke. That's a really good early vertical forearm high elbow catch. When you go to swimming normally, it may not be that that exaggerated, but that's pretty close to what it really could look like. Sorry, I was drinking some coffee. And then this was swimming, trying to do that with both arms. That's pretty good. So good extension. Shoulder could be maybe a little more under your chin at that point, but there's nothing wrong with that. A little bit of a glide, and then you initiate the catch motion. So good elbow popping up. So that's good early vertical forearm there. You can see the lat engaging very well. And then this is the 3 shots in a row where it looks like maybe just a little bit of giving up the elbow. It's real slight on that one. So I mean that's really a pretty good to very good high elbow catch. So I'm being hypercritical on you. Same thing here. Good extension. Sort of a roll or extend or glide forward. Then you initiate the catch. And a good, nice high elbow here. See the lat flexing and engaging? That's a great catch motion right there. And then just again slight with the elbow. So it's me being real critical on that pull, but some of that'll make a difference.